Turning attention now to NDTV's big campaign as far as stray dogs is concerned. We've been conducting a solution-oriented campaign to address the street dog dilemma in the country, given the spate of dog attacks in different parts of the country. And it seems that there are very few state governments who have a proper action plan in place, from resources to actual planning and execution. Only 5 states have helplines when it comes to rabies, and only 6 states have actually launched an action plan. On your screens are those visuals of several of those incidents that are taking place across the country with no clear guideline as to how to go forward. And viewers, this is a campaign that NDTV will continue as this menace, till the time this menace is not addressed. You can call us on the numbers that are flashing on your screens right now. Call in and share your views and thoughts on what you think about India's stray dog dilemma. And in fact, let's get in some callers who are joining us right now, and then we get in Ambika Shukla and Adnan Khan as well. But before that, let's get in one of the callers who's joining us right now. Dipender Singh joins us for his view. Go ahead, Mr. Singh. Where are you from? And tell us, what is it that you would like to say on India's stray dog dilemma?
Well done, NDTV, for taking up this very burning issue. I am a Delhi resident and my hometown is Patiala. And today, with your permission, I would like to point out 2 things. One is that within the overall ambit of our, ideology, which is Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam, we have to ensure that along with humans, we take care of all the sentient beings around us. And the second thing is that this issue of dog bites and humans attacking dogs or dogs attacking humans, this is not going to be solved either by one size fits all across India or by dividing ourselves into animal lovers and animal haters or animal averse, which is the word I like to use because haters is a very strong word. Okay. I regularly see a lot of WhatsApp, exchanges in societies in Delhi. And, yes, animal haters and animal lovers, these are the labels being thrown around, and it is actually adding to the issue.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Singh, for calling us. There are a bunch of other callers. I want to address those as well. And then we get in our experts joining us. Vishank joining us from Gurgaon. Go ahead, sir.
Hello, Adnan, sir. I'm a big admirer of your work. And I really appreciate what you're doing for the society. So my question for you today would be, what do you think, like a city like Gurgaon is getting urbanized heavily, and what do you think about these stray dogs? They're losing their natural habitat. Do you think government should take up a measure where they can coexist with how these metro cities are rapidly evolving?
I think that's one of the fundamental aspects when you try and find a solution. One thing that ensures that the stray dog menace is addressed, but at the same time, there is some permanent solution with regard to how dogs should be treated and how should the care be provided to them as well. I believe there's another caller joining us from Bengaluru, Mr. Adit. Go ahead, sir.
Hi, I'm calling from Bangalore. So just to start, I would like to say that I'm not a dog hater. I've been brought up in a family since childhood where we had 3-4 pets at home. I love them. But I recently shifted to Bangalore and I stay in a community apartment. And I have to say that we've regularly been seeing at least 1 or 2 incidents twice a month of dogs attacking children or people who are walking alone at night times after 11. And recently, I myself have experienced this when I had to come late from somewhere, and while I was walking in front of my apartment, I myself, faced this situation. So all I have to say is, while rules are being made to protect them, government should do more. What next? Like if you see 20-25 dogs in one locality and within 1 or 2 kilometers, government should do something rather than just sterilizing, right?
Which is exactly why NDTV is doing this campaign. Mr. Adit, thanks much for calling us. Before we take in the next set of callers, let's quickly now open this up with Ambika Shukla and Adnan Khan with us. The crux of what most of the callers are saying, and this is a question I throw open to both of you, which is that we need to, on one side, not treat ourselves as either dog haters or dog lovers. It's a solution that needs to be found for all of cities across India. Ambika, let me start with you, ma'am.
Yes, thank you. I agree with the fact that there are no two sides on this. Everybody is on the same side. We all want safe, happy cities where all life is protected and safe. So, firstly, let us get rid of those labels. Secondly, I would like to contest what you're calling stray dogs. There is no such thing as a stray dog anymore. They have been given the title of community dogs. So when we refer to them, please let us call them community dogs. It is just a more appropriate title and gives them the respect they deserve. They are not encroachers on earth. They are certainly not stray. They belong wherever they live. That is their home. Just like ours are pakka ghars, theirs can be the side of a nali, but that is their home equally. So next time you NDTV, if you're continuing with this campaign, please, two things. One, do not call them strays. And second is, do not call them a menace. They are not a menace. They exist on earth. They are our co-fellow beings. So let us call it an issue. Let us call it a dilemma, like you called it, but let us not call it a menace, because that is a prejudicial title.
Ma'am, if there are 3-year-old, 4-year-old, 5-year-olds who are being bitten by a dog, ma'am,
there are circumstances.
Then there is a menace, isn't it?
Ma'am, there are circumstances. Each situation needs to be examined as to what happened. When you have a train accident, we do not call trains a menace. When you have an air accident, we do not call them a menace. Lots of people die, but we do not call these things a menace, because every situation needs to be examined. What happened in that case? Unfortunately, we do brush it all together as one and call it whatever we want to, because animals can't react. They can't tell us their stories. If you ask that dog what happened, he will probably tell you, somebody stepped on my tail, somebody threatened me with a stone, somebody threw a brick at me, somebody threw acid, somebody stole my puppies and drowned them. But we don't listen to animals, unfortunately, and they cannot tell us their stories. So let us not ignore their voices, and let us please understand there is no such thing as an unprovoked bite. There is always a reason, and we need to examine it.
Okay.
Secondly, there is also an existing solution. When you say you want solutions, we have a wonderful solution in India which is being completely ignored and not being systematically implemented. It is called the ABC program, the Animal Birth Control Program, and it is as simple as the name suggests. It involves the sterilization and vaccination of community dogs. And this is being done by the municipalities. But unfortunately, it is not being contributed to by
ma'am. Hold your thought there, ma'am. I'll try and touch upon several of these issues. You started
I'd like to just explain a little more if you give me a couple of minutes.
I'll come to you. I have a bunch of other callers and Mr. Adnan as well. Let me take his opening comments as well and getting some of the other callers. And I'm going to come back to you to let you finish your point. I think Adnan has a point to make there. Yeah.
Yes.
Gauri, first of all, I want to commend NDTV's extension of running this campaign longer than various other platforms, because what it is doing is that it is bringing out these conversations to all of the people, whatever sentiment they have inside of them. At least this dialogue is happening, and we are headed towards development. Now, one thing that I really want to point out is that, rightfully said by the callers and Ambika ma'am, that this divisive method of two parties against each other is obviously not working. The other thing is that dogs have been considered as pests or vermin or litter or garbage. Instead of reducing them to that, considering them as something that needs to be removed, why don't we elevate dogs as the second citizen of the world? Because they're sentient beings, and the bonding that they're providing is actually pointing towards the evolution of the intellect of our entire country itself. As soon as we elevate them and start giving them the respect, it will be like an Aadhaar card or a centralized monitoring system. The next point that I want to bring is that technology is going to be the fastest implementation of all of this.
I'm going to come back and ask about technology, but I want to get in Vikas calling us from Mumbai, because there are a bunch of other callers also. I want to keep going back to them to ensure that, this is a public issue. And unless we have our callers address their concerns and share their views, we'll not be able to fully understand this issue. Let's get in Vikas from Mumbai.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, please. Go ahead, sir. You're on air.
Okay, so I also have pet dogs. I have 2 dogs. The problem really is that we seem to sort of be unnecessarily tolerant towards stray dogs. Okay. Yes, there are supposed to be programs which curtail their numbers, but they just don't seem to work unless there is some concerted effort by the municipalities. And at one time, one would see the municipal vans roaming around with, dog catching and sterilizing and all of that. But that doesn't happen anymore.
That
so
doesn't?
What is going on? It doesn't
Absolutely.
happen.
I want to quickly now get in Dipalika Pranalik, who's joining us, calling us from Kolkata. Go ahead, Dipalika.
Yes, ma'am. I have been bitten twice by stray dogs. I would urge the animal lovers to please take the stray dogs to their homes, provide them shelter, then properly vaccinate them, medicate them and control breeding. Please do not let them run about in the streets as we commuters face a lot of trouble. This can't go on. Please ensure our safety and please don't leave everything on God. The animal lovers should do something to protect us.
Okay, I think that's the larger sentiment here, that whoever says that they want to probably have the most humanized treatment towards stray dogs are unwilling or unaware of how it actually impacts those who are bitten by stray dogs. I believe there's Parvez calling us from Delhi, there's Melvin from Goa, there are a bunch of others. Let's first get in Parvez from Delhi.
Yes, I just wanted to bring in that ABC program, as Ambika ji just informed us. It is a legal and scientific solution to manage stray dog population. That is the first and foremost the municipal corporations should do, which is not being implemented properly, and there is a core of the problem, you see. And also, like Karnataka, we should also have a program of feeding the dogs. Karnataka has just allocated budget to feed the dogs, and the feeders who are feeding the dogs are being harassed by RWAs and AOAs actually.
Okay,
so
Mr. Parvez, I take what your points are, but sir, we also are constrained by the timing. Ambika, you heard a bunch of others and the callers, what they said. Quick closing comments, ma'am. I'm running out of time.
Yeah, I'd like to just say the caller who called in from Calcutta to ask what feeders are doing. I'd just like to tell you something that happened today. A vaccination program was undertaken by community feeders for community dogs. Within 2 hours, we vaccinated 150 dogs, and without leashes, without chains, without force, without any kind of
all right, ma'am.
cruelty.
I will leave it there. I'm not even able to take some of the calls.
Just love and biscuits.
Okay. So, Ambika and Adnan, this is a conversation that will continue because NDTV's campaign hasn't ended. I'm going to give you airtime the next time. That's my commitment, ma'am. And also to several other callers who've called it, but I cannot take their calls right now. Viewers completely out of time, but this NDTV campaign continues. The number that's flashing on your screens, we're going to come back to that story, that campaign. But right now, it's time for a quick break. We return with more on the other side. Stay with us.